it, we wouldn't really be anywhere near where we are now. And so our approach at CBG is to help CrossFitters lose body fat, build muscle, and crush their rods without tracking macros, right? So finding simpler ways that people can stay more consistent over the long term with their nutrition to be able to reach some of those goals. And so, yes, we're exclusively a nutrition company. And so that's what we're focused on growing to be able to help more people and athletes, weekend warriors like John here, people that just do CrossFit for fun. This is what my team is focused on.
It was so interesting. I was going to ask how you quote unquote, broke into the field, right? Because it's such a competitive field, but you maybe started it. 10 years that's like when CrossFit first really started to get its feet underneath it. So you're really coming in right at the start of the momentum building. And so how do you stay relevant in a field where there are many, many nutrition companies, lots of them sponsoring giant name athletes, buying ads and trying to market themselves? Like, how do you compete?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I would say you got to believe in like what you're actually getting people to, what you're coaching. Like, you have to believe in it. So 10 years ago when I started the company, I said tracking macros is not sustainable. And people
you were like, I'm planting my flag in the sand about
100%, right? And 10 years ago, a lot of people laughed at me. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody was tracking.
Right.
Not nearly as many people are laughing now. So I had to believe for 10 years, right, until this day, that I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think that's something people are going to do forever. There has to be an exit strategy for people outside of this to manage the nutrition a little bit easier and to be more consistent. And so I stuck to that, right? And finally, it's to a place where we're able to help a lot of people. And so that definitely helped me stay relevant. The consistency of believing in like myself, my team, and what it is that we offer is super, super important. And I see it all the time. I see a lot of new nutrition coaches out there that I think have a lot of potential. I'm like, wow, this person has a lot of potential. And then I just see them quit posting and quit providing value. And I would say one of the most important things is just continue to stay consistent with what you're selling, what you believe in, and bringing about actual deliverable results to people through relationship, right? So like at CrossFit gyms, we have relationship, right? But in the nutrition coaching space, there's a lot of people out there that don't build the relationship side, right? When it comes to coaching, I can definitely go into that a little bit more if you guys are interested, but building the relationships with people, right? It helps give the best results and allows people to be fully immersed in the process with you as you're coaching them, right? So this is something that we built out. It didn't start that way, but it's something that we have now and we believe a lot in.
It's gotta be hard from your perspective as the person with this hot take a decade ago, right? Who everyone was like, no, but I count macros and it gives me abs for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough from your position and also from the position of your coaches, who I'm sure are dealing with loads of people who just fall off the wagon, right? And I have this conversation with my husband all the time, who works in healthcare, where people come to him like seeking this magic bullet or the silver bullet or whatever, and want the answer to their health and wellness. And they don't want to put in the work. And it discourages him because I'm not going to give a shit about you if you don't give a shit about you. So it's got to be tough from your coach's perspective and from your perspective as the leader of your organization to stay consistent with your messaging and your value and your relationship building, when how many people on the other end are just like, ugh, I'm all set, actually.
Yeah. I think a lot of people underestimate how little it takes to actually start seeing some results, right? But they also underestimate how consistent they need to be in the long term to keep and maintain those results. And so a lot of times that beginning and that momentum is like absolutely crucial, because then things become like more natural for you and they become part of like your fabric when it comes to nutrition or anything, right? So an example would be like, Nikki, when you ride past McDonald's, you don't have this urgency to be like, oh man, I need these chicken nuggets and sweet and sour sauce.
Right.
I can't fight
You
it.
were like Starbucks and PSLs, you'd be more on my level, but yeah.
Right,
I
right.
got you.
So with McDonald's, you fly right by, okay, and it's very easy for you. For other people out there, it's not. How do we make like you meal prepping enough, getting your protein, all those other things, just as easy as it is for you to just drive right past McDonald's?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where the habits, the coaching, and a lot of the things come in. Right. So a lot of people think it's so hard. It is. It was hard to resist McDonald's too, especially like for me growing up. I used to have McDonald's all the time. I was just this little chunky kid that always loved fast food. But eventually, like you break away from some of those habits, it becomes part of your fabric. And now I can't even tell you the last time I had fast food. Right. Not that it's on a forbidden fruit or anything like that. Right. But it's just not something that makes me feel good and that I need. And so, yeah, I think it's making that connection for a lot of people. So, yeah, it can be super difficult, but there has to be, and this is something we send out to everybody that we work with when we start, is what the coach-athlete relationship and responsibilities are, right? So a lot of, it's very undetermined a lot of times when you sign up for a coach, you're doing these different things. And so we send out something immediately. Hey, read this. These are your responsibilities. In the questionnaire that we send out, you said you wanted to do this and lose this weight and feel this way. And then at the bottom, you signed. You just signed a contract with yourself and also with us that we're going to work together on a team to do this. Right. And so when you sign up with me and my team and we define what those responsibilities and things are, this sets the tone for, hey, this is the type of program that this is. And these are the results that you said that you wanted.
And it works. Like, I'm so jaded. I'm like, people will sign whatever. They don't give a shit. Like, but it does. You find that it does, because someone is consistently there holding their hand and helping them along the journey.
Yeah, it's a part of it. I think the accountability comes through your relationship side. That's absolutely key. If you have a coach on the other end you feel doesn't care about you that much. So take, for example, like the coach at 5 a.m. that's like sipping the coffee, just chilling, sitting down, and you're like doing the AMRAP.
Dying, yeah.
Yeah. You're probably not going to push that last couple minutes, right? But imagine the coach at 5 a.m. that showed up on time, was early, took you through the warm-up, guided you the whole way through, recommended the weight that you need to be using, and in the last couple minutes is like, by your barbell, like
encouraging you. Like, yeah.
Let's go, like, one more minute. How many burpees can you get? Come on. There are other people in there. Like, you have all this mutual accountability between everybody. The coach that cares about you is going to be able to help you get much better results. And then you're more likely to follow through with that because they're doing what they need to be doing as well.
Sure.
And the same goes for nutrition coaching. So that's the connection that I think we're always striving for.
John, you're so good at this. Like, when you are in a groove, consistency is like your friggin' middle name. You're so good at it. Like, you're so good at committing to the routine. How do you get there?
Damn, that's a good question, Nick. I never really thought of it in those terms. I've always understood that the long game typically